Tonight on Gal Gadot Live.
Wonder Woman 3, what is happening with this movie? It's in development, it's not, it's in, it's not. Somebody's lying, who knows? Let's talk about it again. David Ayer tweets, riles up some fans for taking a tweet the wrong way, and tweets some beautiful concept art. Box office, Barbie continues to dominate, and Margot Robbie's gonna see a pretty significant payday. Rachel Zegler is under fire for how she talks about Snow White. We're going to talk about that, and I know you think I'm just going to throw some shade at her, but you might be surprised what I say. All that and so much more on Film Junkee Live. $50 million, Margot Robbie. I have a feeling that we will end up finding out that she will donate a pretty significant portion of that to the SAG-AFTRA Relief Fund. Right, Dwayne Johnson?
Gaming without compromise on performance can be your reality.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Hello there. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Film Junkee Live. It's Monday, end of Monday. Hopefully you guys had a good one. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Welcome to the show. Still hot, very hot, humid. Southern California, my God. Versus thunderstorms, man. If it's going to be this humid, bring on the thunder and the lightning. My God. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Make sure you guys smash that like, thumbs up, sub, do all that. I'm going to show that again. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you want to become a member, join the Film Junkee family. Members only stream after every stream on Wednesday, so look forward to that. Then, of course, you got right here. You could also support the Patreon if you want to help out the channel, too. But follow me on all the suck meds that are around me. Anyways, who's out there? What's going on? Holy crap, Donovan. The entire thing has been most confusing and conflicting. Yes. And you have been having... I'm not going to go over all your your comments right here. Just saying hello to everybody in the chat. So, all right, we got Ryan right here. Good to see you. We got Game City Savior. Hey, Dave. Dude, why does Gunn try so hard on innuendo out of playing with children in Guardian... What? Innuendo? I don't remember seeing that much. I thought it was mainly about animals. Maybe he's got a... Are they going to say he's got a bestiality fetish now? However, what is the deal with Wonder Woman 3? It's in development, it's not. What is the deal with that? Pretty much. Hello, gorgeous. Miss Nighthawk is here, everyone. We're going to say hi. Hi. Good to see ya. We got Eric right here. That Rachel Zegler seems to enjoy being a real schmuck to you and now to her own movie. Disney must not be happy. Well, I mean, her tweet to me was just something random. It's not the same. It's not nearly the same. What's going on, Brendan? Good to see you. We got Tony. Tony, what's going on, Tony? Did you get back on the Vodka stream? Have a chat again while you're making a beautiful painting. Please call me. Call me maybe? Currently watching that 9-hour edit of the trilogy that I made. You talking about the Zack Snyder trilogy? What are you talking about? We got Miss Rhea right here. Do what she says. Good to see you, Rhea. Always great to see you. Ah, Stephanie T. Metallica concert. That's right. You were talking about that. 2 weeks. A little less than 2 weeks, I guess you could say. 2 weeks from yesterday. That's when Miss Nighthawk and I are going to be seeing Metallica. Granted that the radio station I won the tickets from doesn't fuck up. That would suck. But that's when we're supposed to be doing that. So hopefully, I know, I'm sure no voice. Your arm is tired. Your arm is tired from being, raising it up and, I'm sure. Lucky. Cortez, man, all this chaos going on in movies have me asking if Hollywood will even exist after the flames get put out, which will, but it's not going to be the same. Nah, and there needed to be a shift. It just needed to happen. The beast mode was happening. Good to see ya. And we got MSGT. Doing great. Well, yeah, appreciate that, man. I absolutely appreciate that. Let's see what else we got. Who else we got? We got Niner for life. Hey, football season, preseason's here. Let's see. Hola. Yeah, she said hola. We got Jess Preet. Hey, Dave, if you haven't yet, you should check out Guy Ritchie's new movie, The Covenant. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. With Jake Gyllenhaal. Excellent film, one of the best movies, and one of my favorite of the year so far. Nice. Yeah, I'll catch it. I know it's probably on streaming now, so we'll have to watch that. Put that on the list, Steph, Miss Nighthawk. Put that on the list. And I know you're a Jake Gyllenhaal fan, so I know you'd be down to watch it. So, hello. Any news on WW2? On World what? Oh, you're talking about World War. You're talking World War. You're talking about Wonder Woman 3. There's already been a 2. Neck hurts from headbanging. Yeah, I know. I'm wondering how I'm gonna feel after it. I'm gonna have no voice. I know that. Yeah, after Metallica, woo-wee. Yeah, I'm gonna be yelling out all the lyrics. And Miss Nighthawk, she's gonna be like, she's gonna be like deaf in one ear. Whatever side I'm on, like when we're there, I'm just gonna be like, Master! I'm just yelling it. Master, pop in that point, yeah, that's the way I'm gonna be. She'll be that too, She'll be yelling too. Yeah, we'll have no voices. So, anyways, guys, all right. So that's pretty much everybody who's like chatting it up right now. So we'll go ahead and turn that off. Probably better than... Oh, yeah, we went bowling yesterday. Yeah. If you guys saw, it was, like, perfect, too. If you guys saw on Twitter, we went bowling at the Casino Morongo over here in SoCal. And it was just a shit show trying to get out of there because there was traffic on the freeway. There's always Sunday traffic going back, to where we're going. And then there was traffic just getting out of all that. And it was kind of perfect because I had Weird Al playing because I've been on a Weird Al kick lately. And his song Traffic Jam just happened to be playing. So I recorded a video if you guys saw that. It was like perfect. It was like perfect timing for that. It was like, really? Like, oh, wow. Right as we got on the street, that song started playing. Freaky stuff, freaky coincidences. that happen in the world, you know? It's all weird. It's the aliens, guys. It's the aliens or it's AI. It's AI, but yeah, we went bowling yesterday. I haven't bowled in forever. Little sore with the arm right here, and of course the left leg got a little soreness right there. We're feeling it. Took 2 hours to get home from the Metallica concert. So, oh yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be like that. Especially they're playing at SoFi. Yeah, they're playing at SoFi. Luckily, SoFi is a new stadium, and there's a lot of places to get out. But yeah, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to get out of there for sure. Always is after every band. I mean, I went and saw Jeff Dunham on Thursday. I don't know if you guys saw that. I think I actually have some pictures. Do I have that tweet up? Yes, I do. So I actually saw Jeff Dunham on Thursday at the OC Fair in Costa Mesa. So that's what I was doing. That's why I didn't go see. And I apologize, guys. I totally messed up last week on Wednesday's show. I did the reviews the reviews were up for Gran Turismo, but I was thinking that I totally forgot that Gran Turismo, and I'm sure some of you are probably even saying in the chat and yelling at your screen at me that I thought Gran Turismo was coming out last weekend, but I forgot they delayed it 2 weeks. So it was just the last voyage of Demeter, you know, the Dracula movie, which I wanted to check out, but you know, I was going to see Jeff Dunham, and there we go right there. Here's some pictures that we took. That's all, you know, not too bad. That's Jeff Dunham right there, and Walter as President Biden. Hilarious. So, and then of course when the show was starting, had the puppets talking. There's Peanut right there, which is always great, and then of course, I kill you, Hawkman right there. All right, so that's what happened on Thursday. Great fun. I didn't get home till almost 1 o'clock, and yeah, I'm just glad that my job is very lenient where I could, I got to sleep in a little bit. So good times. All right, let's get to some things. Let's first talk about controversy. What the hell is this? This is kind of funny because when I showed up to Miss Nighthawk's house 2 weekends ago, I think, or maybe it was last weekend. Actually, I think it was not, it was, yeah, well, technically 2 weekends ago if you think about it, but she had this movie on. We watched like the last hour of it or so, like that. We watched Blindside. And this is kind of crazy that now all of a sudden this is coming out, that Michael, is it Oher or Oher? I always forget how to say his name, but he said, who was the subject of course, the movie Blindside, has filed a lawsuit alleging that he was never adopted by Sean and Leanne Tui. I don't even know how to say they're Tui, whatever. They're too high. Anyways, but that instead, but it was instead tricked into a conservatorship that gave them control over his money and businesses. The lawsuit also alleges that the Tuahais, whatever, how you ever say it, used their power as conservators to strike a deal that paid them and their 2 birth children millions of dollars in royalties from the Oscar-winning film that earned more than $300 million, while Ayer got nothing for his own story. Jesus Christ! We just got blindsided by controversy. Zing, da, ba, ba, shin. Where's the rim shot? No, but yeah, this is insane. And it was always funny too, because I even think I said when we were watching the movie, I was like, how much of this movie is Hollywoodized? You know, that's what I was kind of wondering too when watching it. I'm like, obviously it's a good movie, but it's about, you know, a guy who was like, what? I forget his position, but you know, he's like a defender or something like that, right? Or something. I forgot exactly what his position is, but his position is not exactly exciting when it comes to a football movie. He's not a quarterback, not a wide receiver, not a running back. So they had to make his story exciting. And I remember just when we were watching the movie, I'm like, certain things were like, oh yeah, there's some Hollywoodizing things that are happening in this movie because they had to make it a little bit more exciting. So I was actually questioning how much did they Hollywoodize? No, there it is. We good? Are we good? I think we're good now. Okay, we're good. Yeah, linebacker. He probably was a linebacker. Whew. All right, sorry. Looked like it had a little glitch in the matrix right there, so we're good. Yeah, sorry about that. And then of course, I didn't have my AC lowered, and I was like, oh shit, I'm starting to sweat here. It like turned off, and I'm like, oh crap. It's way too hot for it to be set to 74, so I put it down to 69. By the way, no, I'm not going to say it. Anyways, I'll save it. I had a joke that I heard today that I'm not gonna say right now. But 14 years later, I know, 14 years later. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But it is kind of interesting. Because, you got to take into account of both sides. I mean, I don't know how much money he made in the NFL, but it's like, it is kind of interesting how all this is coming out now. And then you got to wonder too, like, a lot of people were throwing Sandra Bullock under the bus. I saw people that, and then of course I saw a bunch of people on Twitter defending her. I was like, why is Sandra Bullock trending right now? And people were either like going, what does Sandra Bullock have to say about this? And then people were defending Sandra Bullock, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on with all that. Maybe she'll come out and say something, but her dude, I don't know if she was married to him. I think the guy she was married to or she was with for a while just died not too long ago. Well, he was battling, I forgot exactly what he was battling. He was like only in his 50s. But she just went through a tragedy right now. So I don't know if she's actually going to come out and talk about this. Who knows? But I'm sure her and her people have caught wind of this. But yeah, I was like, yeah, why are they throwing Sandra Bullock under the bus? Yeah. Oh, it's her boyfriend. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were married or not. ALS. There it is. Thank you, Steph. Yeah, it's really sad. Really sad. You got to go through that, and then all of a sudden, the movie you got nominated for Academy Award for, I can't remember if she won or not. I don't think she did. Did she? Maybe she did. I don't know. But the movie that she got at least award recognition for, all of a sudden, is now under fire, under controversy. It's like, geez, that's no good. Yeah, she's been having a rough couple of weeks. But yeah, look, you could even see right there, it's trending right there. So. She did win. Yeah, she did win the Academy Award. So, man, that's right. Boy, she is not having a good couple of weeks, man. But, I mean, I don't know why you'd throw her under the bus. She probably had no idea what anything that was happening with that. She just was signed on to play this character, probably talked to Michael many times, and they probably, had a good standing relationship for a bit. But, man, it's just really sad. Really sad to hear this, man. But, karma's a bitch. And hopefully that family, the real family, is like, hey, maybe they'll pay, they're going to have to pay into this. Probably. I don't know. Hopefully they get what's coming. And then, of course, we got this right here. So this is also interesting when it comes to the WGA. And obviously when there was talking about indie projects were getting waivers to continue to move forward with production so they can actually, hey, we could do our thing. We're not under this. Can we get the waiver? And apparently there was a lot of productions that were trying to do that. Apparently when it came to Hollywood lawyers, I said this last week, a lot of Hollywood lawyers were working overtime because there were so many submittals to get waivers to continue productions, which kind of shows you a little bit of hypocrisy because it's like, well, I thought people, in productions, everybody was on the side of all this and they were like, yeah, strike. But then they're like, yeah, but we want to keep working. But anyways, this is what just got put out there today by Variety. SAG-AFTRA will no longer approve indie projects written under WGA contract. Uh-oh. Jeez, the plot thickens. This is no bueno right here. Are you guys kidding me here? What the hell is happening? So it says right here, SAG-AFTRA announced Monday that it will no longer grant interim agreements to independent projects that were written under a Writers Guild of America contract. So hopefully there's a lot of them that didn't, but yeah, the union has already given permission for 207 independent projects to continue to film during the strike, including ones with stars like Jason Bateman, Anne Hathaway, and Matthew McConaughey. All right. SAG-AFTRA argued that the agreement supported the strike because they involved independent producers who agreed to all the union's demands, but they have caused considerable backlash within the union as some members felt they undermined the strike's overall impact. Monday's announcement was the first concession backlash. Sorry, the thing jumped because of ads. I should get an ad blocker right now. The union agreed that going forward, it will not approve projects that were written under a WGA contract and will be produced in the U.S. Uh-oh, so that's not good. Jeez, everything is just... seems like it's getting worse and worse when it comes to all this. Figure it out, folks. Figure it out. They just, yeah. I mean, sometimes it is interesting because it's like, okay, unions, some people love them, some people hate them. It's all just absolutely crazy. But that's not good. It's not good. We were hoping for I was hoping for like an independent film, indie film boom that was going to like come out of this. But now they're like, nope, now these guys are going to be suffering under this whole thing right here with a WGA contract. Just absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So hopefully they figure it out. You wrote a script, Ryan? What's going on, Fear Jason? Good to see you, buddy. Stop talking! Jeez. This guy, my God, will you just, I tell you what. When it comes to this, yeah, just stop talking.
Fucking hard fact.
Yeah, right?
Fuck me, right?
So when it comes to Zachary Levi, he's in the news again. That's right. It almost is getting to the point, and I've been a defender of Zachary Levi. I've always said that. I know a lot of people hate him and think like just, because of things that he has said and people that he has looked up to that they just immediately just put him in a certain box. I'm not like that. I think he's generally a nice guy. It seems like he is that, like I could see like hanging out and having a great conversation with him or whatnot. But when it comes to everything when he shows up in the news, when he shows up on the feed, it's always just something where it's like, zip it, stop it. And apparently, but I need more context. I do need more context. And, basically I'm just going by what this quote actually say right here. But a new quote has surfaced from Zachary Levi that is talking about stop watching garbage Hollywood films, which, yeah, sure. Yeah, I get that. You make a good point. Yeah, when it comes to garbage Hollywood films. But this is the quote right here. They know that once you've already bought the ticket and you're in the seat, they've got your money. The only way for us to change any of it is to not go to the garbage, I guess you could say. But I'm just kind of going like, yeah, but it's like your movie flopped. So did the people already take that advice, already had that in their minds they were like, that looks like garbage, so we're not going to it? Or I don't know. It's just like one of those things. It's like one of those things where it's like, if you're going to say something like this, you can't really talk like this when your big superhero sequel flopped pretty hard. Then again, is he throwing shade at his superhero sequel that flopped really hard? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Is he now? I don't know. And I'm just kind of going, Zachary, man, again, maybe sometimes just relax a little bit on some of the stuff you're saying, because it's going to start rubbing people the wrong way. And again, it's like, it's a little, yeah, like you said, it's a little tone deaf a little bit when it comes to all this, because, sometimes going and watching garbage or it's just popcorn fun and, hey, you go see a ridiculous movie that you just want to shut your brain off. Sometimes that's okay. That's okay. There should be that. There should be garbage. There should be all of it. I like going to shitty movies sometimes. I enjoy watching shitty movies sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. But then at the same time, I get what he's saying, that, yeah, like flock to the really good movies. But that's happening too, though. That does happen too. Look what's happening with Barbie and Oppenheimer. I mean, I didn't really like Barbie, but I loved Oppenheimer, and that movie, we'll be talking about box office, is killing just like Barbie is. It's killing in its own category, I guess you could say. But so, I mean, people are still flocking to the non-garbage movies, but there's, it's still fun to see the garbage movies, discuss them, shit on them, do all that stuff. I mean, nobody sets out to make a garbage movie. I'm sure sometimes in the middle of it, because you've heard from actors and whatnot that just go like, yep. In the middle of it, they're just like, yeah, this is going to be a piece of shit. I mean, I think Matt Damon just recently was interviewed where he was like, during a movie, like he just knew it was going to be a piece of shit. I automatically thought it was the movie The Great Wall, because that movie was a piece of shit. Even though that was the first time we saw or at least I saw Pedro Pascal. And I was like, I like that guy. He's I think he might be going places. Sure enough, Pedro Pascal is now everywhere. But, yeah, I mean, it just happens. But, I mean, nobody sets out to make a garbage movie. But sometimes, Look at the Meg 2. I mean, people, the critics did not like that at all. People were shitting all over it. And you know what? Sometimes it could be fun, right? But sometimes it's just like, ugh, Zachary, hold up. But he always shows up in the media. And it's like, I mean, he's keeping his name out there. That's for damn sure. And then speaking of Barbenheimer right here, when it comes to Barbie and Oppenheimer, so this was kind of funny right here because discussing film brought up an interesting point right here. It said, although we're only 8 months into the year, it already seems likely that Barbie and Oppenheimer can earn Best Picture nominations at the Oscars. This is probably going to happen. Barbie is most likely going to get nominated for the Academy Awards. Do I think that should be the case? Not really, because, again, I'm one of those that was like, didn't really like it that much. Jokes didn't seem like there was really, I don't know. Like, I get why people like it. A lot of people were saying that Ryan Gosling deserves an Academy Award. I'm like, does he really? Doesn't seem like what he was doing was much of a stretch. He was just acting goofy the whole time. Which I like goofy Ryan Gosling. The Nice Guy is one of my all-time favorite fucking movies. Love that movie, and he did a way better job in that movie than he did Barbie. That's for damn sure. So I'm like, well, if he's going to get nominated for Barbie, he should have been nominated for The Nice Guys, because that is my favorite Ryan Gosling movie. And then, of course, you have like a movie like Drive, which that was great too. But I'm just like, the only thing that I was like worried about when I read this right here, I was just going, oh man, if Barbie does get nominated, if Greta Gerwig gets nominated for Best Director, she's totally gonna take that statue, isn't she? And Christopher Nolan is gonna get that statue. He's not gonna get the statue again. We've been wanting Christopher Nolan to get that Best Director statue for how long now? And with Barbie coming out, and even though like the box office hasn't hurt his movie, I think his chances of getting that Best Director statue might not happen. They're probably going to be like, if Barbie gets numerous nominations, I have a feeling it might clean house a little bit. And I'm just going to go like, all right, because if what Christopher Nolan did to tell this story for, a 3-hour biopic, I'm sorry, but that is just mind-boggling how he did that. When it comes to the Barbie movie, to me, it was like a 2-hour Saturday Night Live sketch. That's what it felt like to me. Like, I get why people like it, and I get like, and I like the fact that it was making fun of the patriarchy, essentially, both sides of it, and I get that because it was like, it went over and above and beyond, and it was making fun of people that were like that. I did dig that, but overall, I'm like, he's going to lose out again, isn't he? Isn't he? But we'll see what happens. Hey, we got Enosh here. What's going on, bud? Oh, Ryan Gosling's Ken song is going to probably get nominated. Ugh, I hope not. It's going to be a total joke if that happens. Total joke. Hey, Ben, why'd you retract your message? You afraid you're going to get some backlash for saying that Barbie is overrated? Huh? I'll even say it. It is. No, it's not. It's one of those movies. It's just one of those movies that's taken the world by storm, and I actually like the fact that it is. Okay, overrated. Okay, so you put it back. No, I mean, I think, I think it's, when people were saying that it's like so funny, that's where I go, I don't know, I just didn't like the jokes all that much. But hey, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to say that it's overrated. I'm going to say that, I think it's a cultural phenomenon. So I don't think it's overrated. To me, I just didn't get I get the hype, but I just wasn't all about the jokes. And I was like, Will Ferrell, come on, do something that makes me laugh. And he didn't, it was just like one of those things. So anyways, moving along, let's see. All right, let's talk about some Blue Beetle here. And you know what? You're crying. I'm not crying. You're crying, goddammit. Did you guys see this video right here? Mr. Manuel Soto. He released this video right here of Mr. Maridueña, Mr. Xolo right here, getting the role of Blue Beetle. And this is what it's all about here, folks. This is what it's all about.
So you want to be Jaime or what?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, welcome, Jaime.
Oh boy.
And you are the Blue Beetle. You are the Blue Beetle. Y que
Are the Blue
tenemos
Beetle.
el nuevo superhéroe latino.
Calling his family.
Jaime Reyes y va a ser Blue Beetle.
He's crying.
Sí, no, este es un hijo muy especial y estamos muy orgullosos de él y confiamos que él va a poder representar a este superhéroe de una manera
Look
que
at
nos
his
va a hacer
face.
muy orgullosos, nos va a poner en el mapa y ahora que todo el mundo que corran para sus casas que por ahí viene Blue Beetle.
Praising his son. Or their son. I know, I was about to say, Ben, you want to translate?
Parece que
But yeah, you get the idea, though. I mean, look at his face. He can't hold back the tears. Just absolutely beautiful, you know. And then of course he blows them a kiss right there. So there you go.
Bye. I'll talk to you soon.
So there you go. Just like when we saw Sasha Kaye get when Muschietti zoomed in and told her that she's playing Supergirl, you know? Same thing. You gotta love that. You gotta love that, man. So that's just cool stuff. And then, of course, moving to this right here. So this is interesting because last week we talked about how Soto basically was saying that when he was asked by Brandon Davis of comicbook.com, basically going, all right, The Flash came out. We have a new Superman. Where does Blue Beetle sit? Specifically when it comes to those characters, did you have to do anything, tweak anything to make sure it was going to fit for the new DCU? And he basically was saying like, oh yeah, well, I think we were pretty good at not mentioning who it is, what Superman, what Flash, whatever the hell. But now we got a different one. Now we got a different video right here, and it's interesting. So here we go right here. So obviously you can see right here. So waking up in Mexico to the news that Snyder wants to see it too, a director that I respect so much, that his films, of course, and even Blue Beetle, there are some references to Man of Steel that we made out of the honor and respect for the work and art of Zack Snyder. So there's references to Man of Steel now. So after saying that, Superman and but now all of a sudden we're getting a different. See, this is where it gets confusing. It's like, okay, at first we were saying that, oh yeah, there was no mention of what Superman. Now all of a sudden there's mentions of Man of Steel. So maybe some character, I don't know if it's the bad guy or one of the good guys, if it's George Lopez, his uncle in the movie, Jaime's uncle, that mentioned the Black Zero event. Now it just kind of gets confusing. So now we're like, okay, so again, this is why this whole transition to the new DCU has been just very messy when it comes to the 4 movies that came out this year, because now we have this where it's like, okay, so now it does take place in the Snyderverse. What is the reference? It's all just, When I saw this, I went, man, what is happening with all this? So now it looks like there's going to be Man of Steel references. Oh, it's funny too, because there's been plenty of clickbait headlines out there too, saying that Henry Cavill's Superman is coming back for a new DC project. I even saw it on my Google feed. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So of course there's websites that are taking advantage of this very thing. So yeah, guys, there you go. It's still messy. Still very messy. Somebody wipe it down. Wipe it down. But I'm still going to go see this. Yeah. Stop being confused. The DCU ends straight up with Aquaman 2. Okay, I'll stop being confused, MSGT. I'll stop right now. All right, no longer confused. Thank you, MSGT. I just need to put that program into my brain. I'll stop being confused. No, this is confusing, okay? Because he was saying that the Superman had no particular Superman reference. It was just a Superman reference. And now they're saying that they reference Man of Steel, okay? So, yes, it's still going to be a little bit confusing when it comes to this. I get it, MSGT. I get it. That it all fully ends when it comes to Aquaman 2. I get it. But this is a little confusing, yes. It just is. It is. Oh, I have the music on still. Shh. 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 My bad. All right. Let's see here. Let me look at my notes, make sure I got everything. Got all that. All right, we should be good. And now let's talk about the main topic here. Oh, yeah, and also another thing, too. I wanted to talk about, well, briefly, because, you know, I mean, I gave a, you know, raised my drink to Maui. I mean, that whole thing has been devastating, and, you know, we have a, you know, obviously a vodka stream, well, you know, he doesn't show up that much anymore, but he used to show up a lot, and, you know, he's always welcome to it. It's Chris Wong Swenson, doing okay. He doesn't live in that, the same island that the fires are on, but, man, that whole thing was devastating. But, yeah, it was just kind of funny today, because good old Biden poopy pants was asked about Maui, about the rising death toll, and of course he said no comment. And then when I saw people that were like, I was on my feed and people were just saying like, well, that's fucked up that the president has no comment about this devastation that happened over here. I'm like, well, probably a good thing, because if he were to actually comment, the motherfucker would probably say something about, yeah, man, I know, it's terrible. We'll get those Japaneses for, you know, bombing Pearl Harbor and causing all the fires, man. That's right. We'll get them. He'd probably say something like that. So probably a good thing he said no comment. And you better believe that his puppeteers were like, don't say anything. Say no comment, please. For the love of God, don't say anything. Because he probably would say something way worse. Way worse. Let's face it. Brain's not all there. So, but anyways, devastation was, it's just terrible. It's just absolutely terrible. And there's terrible things happening. Jason Momoa reposted somebody talking about how real estate agencies and rich people are trying to buy up land from all the people who lost their homes on the land. It's all a shit show, man, when it comes to a lot of this stuff. All an absolute shit show. So anyways, man, doing that Biden impression made my voice go, you know, come on, man, what are you talking about, man? That's what we're talking about, man. Grand Canyon's the ninth wonder of the world, man. And we got, oh, fuck. Boy. All right, where am I at here? Let's do that. Okay, let's do this. No, hold on. Sorry. Okay, we're good. Ugh. But yeah, he's definitely not. Biden's definitely not doing the greatest job when it comes to at least that. All right, let's talk about Wonder Woman 3. What the hell is happening with Wonder Woman 3? My God, how many times do we have to talk about this? And I'm going to talk about it yet again. And I'm going to have to reiterate, I'm going to have to talk about just basically what I've been talking about pretty much for the past year when it comes to this whole situation. You guys have heard me many times, and I'm just going to do a brief little recap. And I know we talked about it in the Vodka stream, but of course this article that came out on Thursday. So naturally I was like, all right, let's talk about this again. And then of course just thinking about it again, I wanted to just, you know, let's approach it again, because obviously the Twitter timeline was a mess. Everything was kind of a mess. So back in like what, January or whenever the hell it was. Well, obviously when James Gunn got DC Studios and it was released that they weren't going to be moving forward with Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3, automatically everybody was like, okay, if Patty's out, Gal is out. And that's what a lot of people thought. That's what I thought. That's what I was even hearing, that it was basically going to be a duo. If she's out, it's a package. It's a package of both of them, essentially. But then again, you just never know what could happen in Hollywood, because if Gal really loves the character so much, she could be like, well, I'm not going to use the script, and maybe a fallout could have happened behind the scenes, who knows? And then maybe Gal would want to continue on even without her. So obviously when all that happened, I was going to be, one of the things I kept on saying was like, well, she's going to have some cameos in future movies. We know she's going to be in Shazam 2. We know she's going to be in The Flash. So let's see how she reacts to those cameos. Will she promote it, support those movies? Let's see what happens. So Shazam comes out, no promotion, no conversation, no discussion at all. The Flash comes out. No discussion, no promotion, nothing at all when that comes out. Nothing. when Fast X comes out and she has a cameo in that, she talks about it. She goes, oh my God, return to the family and blah, 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 blah. Now, that is a little different, sure, because now she's returned to this big, huge family and she'll be in the sequel. But that's what I'm getting to there, folks. She's going to be in a future movie. Huh? She's going to be in a future movie. When it comes to the other two, maybe it's because she's not going to be in any future movies. That's just the way I was thinking when it came to that. Now, it could have been something in her contract, some kind of, logistics in her contract where she wasn't going to talk about it. I don't know. But then, of course, a few weeks ago, obviously these interviews happened before the strike happened, comicbook.com released a little tidbit when asking her about Wonder Woman. Of course, she says she loves playing Wonder Woman, praises all that. And again, I just go, well, why didn't you talk about it when you played Wonder Woman in 2 movies, 2 cameos in 2 movies, yet you didn't talk about it. You love the character so much, yet you didn't talk about it. It was just kind of weird. And then it said that she met with James Gunn and Peter Safran, and they're going to be developing Wonder Woman 3. That, of course, is absolutely true that they met, because James Gunn even talked about it too. We saw him respond to people. Yes, that part is true. Now, people are going, someone's lying. And then, of course, if you hate James Gunn, he's, of course, lying about everything. There are people out there that just absolutely hate the man so much, the man could just watch out and be like, hey, this guy, look at how blue it is. He's like, that's no, that's an off blue, that's haze. You're lying. No matter what. There's always going to be that. And then, of course, you have the opposite side that is going, oh, yeah, Gal's lying. She's out. Why is she even saying that? And blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, people are like, the people who are all about the new DCU just are like, yeah, let's get her out of there. We don't need her anymore. So the way I'm looking at it is, I don't think there's lying going on. Again, I'm just kind of going like, hey, guys, I think she's putting pressure to get out, she's still supposed to be under contract, essentially. She wants to get paid out and then most likely leave. And you guys know how it was like when we were talking about how there's a possibility of a Wonder Woman, like if they were to put it in the Elseworlds category, maybe that would be a better approach as opposed to her being in the DCU. Now, I'm not one of those people that if it does in fact happen, I would be okay with it. I'm like, all right, if she's going to show up in the DCU, fine. But you guys got to remember, there's not going to be any Justice League assembling that's going to be happening for a long time. And the only Wonder Woman project that's going to be out there is Paradise Lost, which is not going to include her. It's going to be a total prequel. We'll probably see baby Diana, and it's probably going to be different than what we saw in Wonder Woman 1. So again, there's like so much time that there would actually be before there would be another Wonder Woman 3. And again, it would just have to be its own separate thing, because it just, I don't know. Then again, we haven't seen the rest of chapter 1. We don't know what chapter 2 is. It's all just a complete, just shit show when it comes to all this. But again, we got this article. So, and this is what everybody's freaking out about. And this is what's funny about the fandom, is the fact that anytime one of these articles come out, when you don't like what's happening, you're automatically going to believe it. And that's what I kept seeing on Thursday and Friday. It's just, everybody just immediately goes, this is true. But if it's something that, goes against what they like, they would say, it's an unnamed source. It's an unnamed source. So what the hell? It is kind of funny to watch how fandom is online, because how you feel about it is how you're going to feel about this information. So let's pull up the article right here that got everybody's panties in a little twisty. Wonder Woman 3 won't fly in the new DC universe despite Gal Gadot teasing development plans. Is a third one? Yeah, not quite. Despite recent comments from Gal Gadot claiming DC heads James Gunn and Peter Safran told her they would develop Wonder Woman 3 together, sources with knowledge of the situation tell Variety that is not the case. According to the sources, a third Wonder Woman film is not in development at DC Studios, nor do Gunn and Safran have plans at this time for any Wonder Woman project in the new DC universe other than their previously announced Paradise Lost prequel series for Max. Gal first suggested that Wonder Woman 3 might not be fully dead in an interview with comicbook.com. I love portraying Wonder Woman. That's what we're talking about. It's close to my heart. And then, of course, said all of that. The actor made potential future The actor made a potential future for Wonder Woman 3 appear even more likely during a recent published profile by Flaunt magazine. In this interview, Gal Gadot, she was assured by Gunn and Safran under one, talking about that. I was invited to a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran. You're in the best hands. We're going to develop Wonder Woman 3 with you. We love you as Wonder Woman. You've got nothing to worry about, so time will tell. Yeah, I think she's putting the pressure on. I don't think it's God, Hollywood's such a weird thing. Such a weird thing. Because like everything I was saying at the beginning, how much she loves the character, yet mentioned nothing about the 2 cameos this year. That's where I scratch my head and just kind of go, wait a minute. There's something weird here. Now, when it comes to James Gunn and Peter Safran, could they have lied or fluffed? I always like to say fluff. It seems like when it comes to Hollywood and you see quotes and you hear things, even from James Gunn, I was like, yeah, there's fluff right there. Meeting went well. Wonder Woman 3, I don't know. It's kind of hard to determine, who lied. I'm looking at this from, equal. I'm, right at the center, just kind of looking at both. It's yeah, it would be smart to keep Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman because James Gunn himself said, keep the things that work, that have worked, and she's worked. I mean, regardless of how anybody thinks about Wonder Woman 84. But it's well, you should probably keep her because she seems to be this generation's Wonder Woman. Do something. But then you have the same time, it's when they were talking about that, and maybe they were, and then maybe she's doing a little fluffing herself. We can't say that she's not. She's a businesswoman. She totally is. She has a brand. So she totally is also a businesswoman too. And her saying what she has said in these 2 interviews, yeah, adds a little bit of pressure. Adds some pressure. Do you think that's the exact comments that they made to her? Probably not. There's probably a little fluff there too. Again, fluff. There's fluff all over the place when it comes to all this stuff. There's absolute fluff. James Gunn fluffed Ben Affleck. Remember? Oh, that sounded weird. He fluffed Ben Affleck. He had a little fluff with Ben Affleck. Oh, somebody clipped that one out. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Yeah, you use the term fluff, and then we go back to that porno term of fluffing. That's right. James Gunn fluffed Ben Affleck. Boing. Anyways. Whoa! There we go. There's something for a laugh right there. No, but there was some fluffing going on when it came to James Gunn mentioned, this was what was funny when it came to Twitter, and people that were talking about this, and they were saying that, oh, he lied about Ben Affleck. He lied about Ben Affleck. Okay? And I'm like, no, he did not lie about meeting with Ben Affleck. I think he fluffed the fact that it was he added fluff to the fact that, Ben Affleck said he wanted to do something with us and maybe help with this new DCU. And I took it as, okay, yeah, maybe at one point it was, because that rumor was going all over the place. We even talked about it here, that yes, that it seemed like Ben Affleck might be directing Batman Brave with the Bold, or he might be doing The Authority or something. And I was even hearing the same thing, that meetings were happening and things were happening when it came to James Gunn and Ben Affleck. And then all of a sudden it was nope, it didn't work out. And then we had an interview or something with Ben Affleck that says oh yeah, I'm not going to do anything with James Gunn, and then immediately everybody was like, oh no, he lied. It's no, he didn't lie. The meetings happened. God knows what happened in those meetings. And again, you just never know when people are just kind of just either adding pressure. And I think as a businesswoman herself who has a brand, I think she's just continuing to add pressure to any kind of negotiations or anything that's going to be happening with this franchise that she helped build. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it. She's looking out for herself. She got screwed over by the old regime. And then when things that are happening now, obviously Cavill got screwed over, not coming back. And then Affleck is just not coming back. So it was all right, so we all just assumed that Gal wasn't going to come back. But then there was maybe mention hey, we could still keep you. But then maybe the terms of what was going to be happening with her character, she didn't like. Maybe she's just adding some pressure. And it's hey, either keep me or pay me out to leave. Businesswoman. which is good. Adding the pressure. That's the way I'm kind of looking at it right now. Thank you, Droga, for the $2 super chat. First Cavill, now Gal. Who's next, Keanu? You can't look at it like that, Droga. There was no contracts. There was no contract for Cavill. There's no contract for Keanu. Again, it's all business. When they put things out into the media, when they say development, you can't take it seriously. You really can't take it seriously. That's the thing. You can't. Keanu doesn't have a contract right now to play Constantine. Cavill didn't have it. He was promised, and I keep on saying this, he was promised from, obviously, the regime. Obviously, DeLuca and Abdi wanted to work with him, and then sure, Dwayne Johnson, $7 Productions, wanted him to be back as Superman. So it was promised, but then of course things changed, and Gunn was like, "I ain't doing this, doing my own thing." So you got to look at it like that. It's all a crazy business thing. I had another super chat, right? Oh yeah, MSGT liked Barbie, loved the Zack Snyder Justice League joke. The whole family looked at me and laughed. That's good. Sorry, thank you for that $5 super chat there. So. All right, so I mean, that's just what's going on. What's going on, Andre? Gunn needs to do a full reboot of the DCU, in my opinion. I think that's what he's doing. I think that's what he's kind of trying to do. I think with the Suicide Squad, it doesn't really matter because it's the Suicide Squad. But, yeah. He just, his whole thing's just kind of messy, but I think Gal is just taking it upon herself to put some pressure. Because she knows how to do business because she's a businesswoman. That's the thing. I think that's what people fail to realize in this whole back and forth when everybody wants to take a side. And I'm sitting there going, all right, what's going on here? We got two business people trying to do something here with this messy DC universe. And it's like, I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, I'm kind of supporting a little bit of both here. I think she deserves either another movie and you should put it in the Elseworlds category, or you just pay her out and then she does her own thing, which she is. She just had her new movie come out, Heart of Stone, which I did watch over the weekend. I plan on giving you guys a review of Heart of Stone, as well as Spider-Man Lotus, that controversial fan film. I'm going to give you guys a review on that on Wednesday, so look forward to that. So she's got other plans happening. You know, the Cleopatra movie's also happening. She got other plans. Sequels to Red, whatever the hell that was, with Dwayne Johnson. And then you got James Gunn, who is trying to do something and trying to correct things that have happened prior and basically going like, all right, what can work, what can't? I have to, like, you know, take it over here because of the fuckery that happened with that old regime. That's why I don't blame him for just wanting to just wipe the slate clean. But then, of course, people get upset when because there was talks today from a scooper, which I love it when scoopers say something very obvious. It's like, there's a scooper out there that said, I can confirm that Margot Robbie is returning as Harley Quinn. Look at me, the scooper. I just gave you a scoop. Fuck you. Fuck you. Really? I think everybody assumed that. I can confirm that too. I can also confirm that you're a douchebag. Good job. Running out of scoops there? Yeah, you are. Shut up. Anybody could have scooped that. It's like, yeah. Especially now. Margot Robbie's like, she's going to be making $50 million from Barbie alone. Her movie, she got the biggest movie of the fucking summer. Going to be the biggest movie of 2023. Yes, of course. Yes, keep her as Harley Quinn. Fine. Suicide Squad could be in its own thing. It's always like a constantly, if you read the comic books, the team never stays the same. It's always fluctuating. It's always somebody else in there and whatever the hell. They're called the Suicide Squad, for shit's sake. Red Notice, thank you. I was like, Red something. I almost said Red Planet, but I was like, no, not the Val Kilmer movie. What are you talking about there? All right, but yeah, that's just the way I'm looking at it. You got two business people trying to do something, and yeah, I think there's just some fluff that's happening on both ends. You don't like Margot as Harley anymore? I feel like she doesn't care or understand the character. You feel like she doesn't care. Doesn't understand the character. Seemed like she was okay with I don't know. I think she totally understands the character. To me. At least with the Suicide, I mean, I love her fight scene in the Suicide Squad. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Birds of Prey. Had some good moments, but wasn't the biggest fan of that. But speaking of Suicide Squad, David Ayer. God, I love this guy. And again, David, Vodka Stream. Want to come on and talk about some things? Let's talk about some things. Let's talk about this. But yeah, David Ayer, oh my God. Well, I mean, this is, he's been tweeting a lot, and this is going to go back to Thursday again. It seems like things happen on Thursday, and I'm like, oh crap. I guess I'll talk about it on the Vodka Stream, and then of course talk about it on here, and we'll do a recap, because yes, we did talk about it on the Vodka Stream, but just in case you didn't see that, we'll do a little bit of recap. But when it came to, of course, he's been tweeting a lot about the Ayer cut, posting behind-the-scenes images, props, and everything. He's been doing a lot of that, which is great. We love it when he does that kind of stuff. But he did tweet out something. He quote-tweeted somebody. He basically quote-tweeted somebody, and people got upset. People got big-time upset when it came to who he quote-tweeted and what he said. And basically, somebody was saying, like, this person right here, who apparently is not the best person, but David Ayer didn't know it. And I love it how fans just assume that David Ayer should know it. Again, directors, these people that are here that we looked up to, they are not on Twitter as much as you. Okay, you're on Twitter 24/7 and of course have screenshots and everything and know everything and who the bad people are, who the good people are. Yes, sure. But David Ayer is out there creating movies, creating content, making things. Yes, he jumps on Twitter, spends a little time, and then he logs off. So he's not going to know everything that happens when it comes to this, when it comes to everything. So the fact that people got upset about him basically quote tweeting somebody that says, like, that they said that, the fan base from a certain director is going to come for you. And then he said, oh yeah, the vultures are already circling. So then of course, naturally, people in the fandom got offended. And it was funny because I was defending David Ayer and I'm like, do you guys really think he knew what the hell he was talking about? And I'm like, and if you're offended by it, maybe you should internalize that a little bit, because have you dogpiled on David Ayer because you don't like the fact that he is supporting the new DCU, he's supporting Blue Beetle, he is supporting James Gunn. Do you not like, if you don't like that and you helped with the dogpiling, because he's been dogpiled on by these fans many times before for doing this. And that's who he was talking about. So if you are part of that, maybe you should internalize that a little bit. I'm just saying, internalize that, because you shouldn't get offended. If you have not done that, he's not talking about you. That's not who he was talking about. And he clarified it too. He ended up clarifying. He had to come back on later that day. I think it was on Thursday, because I remember when I was driving home from the comedy show, I was looking at his tweets and he was trying to figure out, why am I being dogpiled on again? And it was just, and then of course the person that he quote tweeted, apparently is a piece of shit. I had no idea who this person was. And then, of course, people, because they're on Twitter 24/7, they had screenshots and all this stuff, and they were like, look at this, look at that, this person. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. I assume he didn't know that either. So, yeah, okay, that person's garbage. But he didn't know that. So ridiculous. So there was that part. But he's been dogpiled on so many times about things, and it's just it's absolutely ridiculous that he is. Obviously, and there's people that were just basically saying, oh yeah, good luck on trying to get your cut out. I mean, I even had somebody today that was saying, that was basically people were saying, I saw a tweet today that said, if the Ayer cut would have already been released by now if it wasn't for David Ayer. What the hell? They have turned on David Ayer. It is absolutely insane that they've turned on him. Let's see. I'm scrolling through Ayer stuff, but we don't need to go too far back. I think that's all right. Where are we at here? Okay, now we don't have to go that far back. We could start with the concept art. We have concept art that he's been posting out there. Hold on. He does a lot of retweeting. When he comes on, he does a lot of retweeting and a lot of army stuff. Okay, well, where the hell's that one? Jesus Christ, I can't find things. God, Dave, you You tweet a lot. All right. I'm trying to find that first. God damn it. All right. Sorry. He does retweet a lot of things. I'm trying to find that Joker concept art. I need to scroll. There it is. Jeez. All right. So original intent. So basically he started off with this. So we got concept art right here. A bunch of freaking skulls that are hovering around the Joker right here. And that's what, and he just basically captioned this to original intent. So basically this was not going to be in the final movie, but there was an idea of Enchantress doing some crazy shit when it came to her powers, and the Joker, of course, being a part of it. Okay? So then we continue to scroll. And then here, I mean, again, this is what he's talking about. He said, why are so many people committed to misunderstanding everything? Why on earth would I call cool, supportive, and positive fans vultures? To me, a vulture is someone who jumps on posts seeking to create divisiveness, drama, and sling venom. The negativity is just sad. It's not fun. This stuff is supposed to be something we can all share and enjoy. Like I said earlier, I simply cannot keep track of all the basm, whatever the hell that word is, and profile. Goddamn, big words there. I'm trying to talk fast and I can't do it. Parties of the fandom. Can we get back to enjoying movies, please? Yes. And to anyone I offended with the vulture label, I bow my head and apologize. Unless, of course, they have been pushing negativity. Let's stop with the pearl clutching and fake drama, please. And this person deleted their tweet. They deleted their tweet. So that's what I'm talking about right there. He cannot keep track of all this BS. So if you were offended and you were slinging your dung at David Ayer, fuck you. Simple as that. Stop it. Okay. I was trying to read fast, and all of a sudden it was like, big words. Brain can't process. I'm not that smart, you know? What could I say? Let's see here. Scrolling. Man, he has retweeted a lot. Yeah, he put that too. Hey, look at that. He saw that on, somebody tweeted that out. That's pretty sweet. Where's that other picture? God damn. So we got right here. We got the suitcase. We got the suitcase that is showing Harley Quinn's case right there. We got some bats. We got the mallet. We got the jester suit in there. We got some bras. It looks like an American flag is there. Trying to see if there's any other Easter eggs. So that's pretty sweet. We got the FLIR camera. So that's Suicide Squad right there. That's pretty sweet. We got Katana's mask. We got Karen's mask. So that's pretty cool. What else we got? Where's that other piece of concept art? There it is. So here we go right here. Look at this. Look at this. So there's another piece of concept art we have not seen that shows Enchantress doing some crazy, crazy shit right here. And his caption says this. It's just concept art. It ain't that deep. Again, it ain't that deep. Another thing that fans need to realize. Concept art is just something that they had an idea beforehand. Some people are now going to think that this shot is in the Ayer cut because they don't think. They don't think. But yeah, it ain't that deep. The idea was Enchantress was altering the reality around her and changing the environment. The Joker image is a simple take on that concept. Here's more. So the Joker concept was all the skulls. That was Enchantress creating that. And then she was going to do something like that too. And then here's that tweet right here that somebody said, we could have seriously gotten the Ayer cut in 2019 if Ayer played his cards right. It's a damn shame. Oh my God. So this guy right here, whatever the hell, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. And he said, sure, okay. And now he's trying, and that's the thing. The people that hate the fact that he's supporting the DCU and James Gunn, he's trying to get his Ayer cut by supporting all what's happening right now, because that's what you do. He's being a businessman himself. Let's see. Oh, yeah, somebody even said, like, if given the choice, what comic book character or characters would you most likely to write and direct a film about, if any? He said, not saying. Ooh, so a lot of people are rubbing their chin like maybe he might be directing a new one in the new DCU. That would, oh yeah, then the certain people would just totally flip on all that, so. And then he brought this up right here. So this actually, okay, so the Enchantress was an alien invader and never part of the native culture of the Pantheon here, or the Pantheon here. She was a bad guy, and she was defeated in ancient times only to reappear elsewhere. So Enchantress, not being some mythical god or whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff, an alien. We've heard this concept before. We have heard this concept before, and guess what? This person nailed it right here. Holy shit, that matches Zack's aliens gods theology of the Snyderverse. Just like Zeus and Ares were survivors of an ancient Kryptonian scout ship of Man of Steel, Enchantress is an alien apocalyptian who was worshipped as a deity. You're melting my mind. And David Ayer said, exactly. So even David Ayer was working with Zack when they had the concept that there was a possibility that Amazonians were actually Kryptonians. Remember, it was talked about at Full Circle. But it was an idea that just didn't come to fruition. And I know a lot of people are like, well, look at what we could have had. But at the same time, maybe it just didn't work. You know, we got to let go. It's just concepts. It's ideas. Happens all the time. And sometimes they don't work. I mean, it sounds like a cool idea. It really does. But apparently, yeah, David Ayer was going to be working with that too when it came to Enchantress. Pretty sweet. And then, of course, talking about it here, YWB said Suicide Squad seemed like Deadpool. That's totally false. Seeing your post, we were robbed so bad. And then he said they did their best to engineer it into Deadpool. So turning Suicide Squad into Deadpool. Around the time when all of this started to develop, at least that slate of filmmakers from Comic-Con 2016, did you all have a lunch or a meeting of some sort and just discuss what you guys were going to do, plans, stories, ideas? There was an extensive coordination at first. That's right. There was a brain trust. Zack, Ben, Ray, James, Gunn, not James Gunn, but James Wan, James, Patty, they were all, David, I mean, they were all, there was a coordination that was happening that was feeding off of what Zack was, you know, putting the foundation for. And let's see, do we have anything else? Or is that it? Oh, yeah, then he talks about Final Cut. He talks about that. It's at WB's discretion that what cut of the movie gets released, no matter what the director says, unless there are certain contract stipulations, which many directors don't get. And he says, correct. It's normal for final cutting authority to be established in the contracts. Contractual final cut is virtually unheard of and usually has caveats like running time and format. So basically just confirming that, yeah, he didn't have final cut authority. And then he says, no, Apocalypse was Jack Kirby. Enchantress was Ostrander's creation. But she was of non-Earth origin. The original Suicide Squad storyline was she was under control of the Mother Box. Jack Kirby was an incredible artist and creator. Look at all the things his work has become. A true giant. And then, of course, true giant in all this. And I don't know who that is. Somebody who doesn't like me because I can't see their tweet. We just talked about Jack Kirby yesterday on DC Fanimated. Hopefully you guys check that out. Did a little, a short talking about Jack Kirby because he's just freaking awesome. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to a lot of the Suicide Squad talk. So there you go. Tweeting. Keep tweeting, Dave. Do it. Keep tweeting. But yeah, I'm just saying, I mean, there are people that are just not happy with him. And, and it sucks too because, and I remember somebody in my mentions was like, basically blaming David Ayer for not having the Ayer cut out right now. And it's just, I love it when fans just assume they know everything. And you got to not look at it like that. You got to figure out like, okay, this is not the same. This is not like the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut was it's a culture phenomenon. I mean, it went out there. It's mainstream. Everybody talks about release the so-and-so cut now anytime something happens. It's something that's never happened before. It's absolutely crazy, and it blew up. It absolutely blew up. But then we also got to take in that it was a different situation. And look what happened when it came to, I mean, obviously Zack made Man of Steel, then BVS, and then the reaction to Man of Steel, the studio started interfering with BVS a little bit. And then after the reaction to BVS, they really started interfering with Justice League. And then what happened with Justice League, a tragedy and all that stuff, he walked away, and then they completely turned it into something else. So it's not exactly the same, and the campaigns and the support for it is not as big, sure. I wish it was bigger, but sadly it's not quite as big. But I just think there's hope, because again, what he said in the tweets too is the fact that James Gunn, when he met with James Gunn, and of course a lot of people just assume that James Gunn's lying, but he met with James Gunn saying like, hey, discussions went well, there'll be a time and a place when we share it. And from what I gathered, and I think other people are talking about it too, is 10-year anniversary is coming up in 3 years. Maybe it'll get released in some kind of special director's cut edition when it comes to that. We'll see. So, hopefully. Yes, I'm a double agent for Marvel. I hated it when they did that in Thor. Sounds cool, but I don't know how to feel about it. Oh, okay. What's going on, RJ? Good to see you, bud. I don't understand why people turn on the directors. I know. Well, it's because they're not getting what they want. Everybody has a narrative when it comes to certain things, and they just keep those narratives. Yara, good to see you, by the way. They keep those narratives in their head, and they hate it when, I mean, how many people hated it that Zach supported Blue Beetle? A lot of people did. They assumed this is how fans are. And I love it when fans, because they've done this before. Some of these really loud fans, like they assume that Zach had his account hacked or he was paid or something like that to support Blue Beetle. I'm like, so again, you're projecting weakness onto Zach, like he got manipulated. That's been said before too. Like for some reason there was like a whole big stink about the title because everybody wanted the title to be Snyder Cut because that's what we've been fighting for. That's what we've been fighting for. Again, you've just been beating the shit out of your keyboards. That's all you've been really doing, okay? Let's not make it sound like you're on an actual fucking battlefield, okay? You've been still just sitting in a chair that you probably had for 16 years that has your ass print on it, and you've just been beating your keyboard. Let's not make it sound like you've been doing a lot of warrior type stuff. But it's like, so when it comes to like, oh yeah, so they project this like weakness on him, like, oh yeah, they you know, TPZ manipulated Zack to turn it into Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm like, are you kidding me? That was like a thing at one point. It was like, are you kidding me? That was a boss fucking move. He said, you know what? I'm going to put my fucking name on it like John Carpenter does, like Quentin Tarantino does. I'm going to put my name in front of this goddamn thing. And there was fans that rallied against it and thought he was manipulated. So then when it comes to the Blue Beetle thing, it's like, no, he did it out of the kindness of his heart. And he's totally genuine. You better believe he's taking his family to go see that. Whew. All right. Droga, if Margot Robbie said release the Ayer cut, that would be huge and could possibly help. Yep. But odds are she's probably told not to. She's probably told not to. Why do some people hate TPZ? Isn't it obvious? They literally got invited to Zach's house. Anybody who Zach has associated, that's why people hate me. It's jealousy. It's absolute jealousy. TPZ, like full circle, they got to, like, before Zack Snyder's Justice League, they had lunch with him and Ray. It's all just jealousy, man. Not hard to figure out there, young squire. All right. Barbie. This movie cannot be stopped. It is #1 at the box office yet again. It just can't be stopped. But #2, of course, is Oppenheimer. You'll love to see it, but that's the box office this weekend right here. Man, 33.8, 36. I mean, look at the drops. The drops have been just low. And it's kind of funny because Oppenheimer got more screens. So that's pretty interesting. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 15.2. Let's look at that one first. I'm curious, where is Teenage Mutant? Okay, not quite 100 million yet, but the budget was low on that one. But Barbie, of course, sitting at $1.2 million. That's right. This thing cannot be stopped. I'm wondering where it's going to round out. But when it comes to Oppenheimer, baby, this is what's great. I mean, I think this is more of a feat because it's basically going to be creeping up to 700 million. And apparently, according to it does break a record because no other R-rated biopic has ever gotten this high. So it's the highest one right there. And then when it comes to R-rated movies, highest grossing, it's like in the top 10 right now. So it's going to keep on moving up and up and up, and you love to freaking see it, but god damn it, give him the freaking Oscar. Nothing against Greta, but please give him the Oscar, please. But yes, in results, this is going to give a significant payday to Margot Robbie. Apparently, according to Variety, Margot Robbie will earn $50 million in salary and box office bonuses. Probably even more than that because she is a producer on it. So, nice pearl necklace it is. So, yeah, she's going to get a huge payout, which is, well-deserved. Good on her. She believed in the movie. She pitched the movie, and she helped craft the movie to what it is. And, of course, I thought she did a great job in it. But you better believe that... Just like when it was announced that Dwayne Johnson, with his next movie, was going to have incentives and all that stuff that was going to make his salary go $50 million, you better believe that maybe all of a sudden we're going to hear a report that Margot Robbie donated, a nice little, seven-figure money at the SAG-AFTRA Foundation to, help the actors who are not currently working right now. You better believe we're probably going to hear about that because, yes, as much as this is great for Margot Robbie, wow, $50 million, especially, because she's female. Because, yeah, obviously when it came to Dwayne Johnson, he got backlash. She's getting praise, but I'm like, yeah, but soon it's going to turn into backlash, and then we're going to probably hear about a report about her donating just to, help that out. So, which she probably will anyways, because why not? Do it. She's got a good heart. She'll do that. But yeah, good on her. Good on Barbie. Good on Oppenheimer. All this stuff. But then we got Blue Beetle coming out this week, which we'll be talking about Blue Beetle. We'll be talking about Blue Beetle reviews and box office definitely on Wednesday. So let's see what that's all about. Oh, Rachel Zegler. That's right, my buddy. Yeah, my buddy Rachel. Yeah, that's right. I know. You guys remember. And if some of you don't remember, yes, she quote tweeted one of my tweets calling me out. This was a few months ago. This is before Shazam came out? Yeah, right? Or around Shazam? I don't know. I think it was before. Because obviously she was in Shazam and, she just kind of brought up in an interview that she walked up to Adam Brody and told him that she had a huge crush on him when she was a kid. And I just thought, wow, way to make things awkward. And I made that comment because, yeah, it is kind of awkward. It'd be even more awkward if Adam Brody walked up to Helen Mirren and said that. You better believe it. When it's flipped, it gets even more awkward. But, it's fine. And then she called me out, which is fine. Go ahead, call me out. That was a fun day. It was a fun day. I was like, bring it, you freaking simps. You Rachel Zegler simps. Come on. Who wants some? I didn't care. It was funny, but no big deal. It's whatever. But so there's been something that's been roaming around. There's a video of like a montage of her talking about Snow White, which is funny because these interviews have been out there for a bit. So, but I want to, before we get into those videos, one of the things what's interesting about Rachel Zegler, I don't even know if I'm saying her name right. I'm probably not. I butcher names all the time. But what's interesting about her, and just kind of diving into her career, because she kind of just came out of nowhere. And to me, she just came out of nowhere. And I know, on the Vodka stream last Friday, there was, talk about where she actually, where she came from before she, became, this movie star. And it's interesting. And I want to bring this up because she has a very interesting career. So when it comes to her, how her career started when it came to acting and singing, she has a great voice, by the way. I'll give her that. A great voice. She was very much into musicals, like stage, all that, theater and everything. And she did a lot of musicals when it came to Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, Shrek. She did a lot of those stuff. Les Miserables, Legally Blonde, all that. She did all that. And then, of course, where she got basically, I guess you could say, discovered is she had a YouTube channel where she did covers of 2 Lady Gaga songs, Shallow and A Star is Born. That blew her up. And then all of a sudden it's like, all right, so Steven Spielberg was like, hey, I'm doing West Side Story, so let's get her. She's got the pipes to do it. Okay, cool. So did that. So then she went from that movie, got cast in Shazam, DC Machine, DC superhero sequel. Okay, now she's in Shazam. Sweet. And then after that, she got cast in the prequel to Hunger Games. And that's going to be coming out later this year. And then after that, she got cast as Snow White. Disney Machine. Okay? Snow White. And then after that, Paddington. Third movie of a beloved franchise. You guys see where I'm getting at here? Has she done anything original? Anything. She got discovered by covering 2 songs, and then she went from franchise, or like a remake, which didn't do well at the box office, but awards, it did get awards, it got nominated. She got put into that, and then she went to Shazam, Hunger Games, Snow White, Paddington. It's like, it's time to, I'm not trying to throw shade. It's interesting. Hey, good on her. Good on her. Okay, good on her. Success. But I'm just kind of going, man, she just got pulled out of like theater and YouTube into the franchise machine right away. And I'm just kind of saying, just being pulled into that real quick could just, I mean, she could fall out of it real quick because let's face it, Shazam, Hunger Games, is that going to even make a splash? Do anybody care about Hunger Games, the prequel to Hunger Games? Maybe it will. Maybe it will. I'll check it out. I'll see it. Snow White, that's where the problem is lying right here. Because a lot of people were not too happy. And it's funny, again, because a lot of these interviews have already been out there, but somebody made a montage and then apparently it just spread like wildfire on TikTok. And you gotta love good old TikTok. So this is the video that has been passed around where people, and then of course there was like the individual ones too, but this is the main one right here.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
That's right, guys. The love story of Snow White, she refers to it as, oh yeah, there's a guy that literally stalks her. So kind of putting the negative connotation. I don't really remember Snow White too much. Again, I wasn't a Disney kid. Maybe that is the case. But it just seems like if you're selling the movie, the live action movie, that's not the way to sell it.
Weird.
So we
didn't do that this time. Cast a guy in the movie. Right. Andrew Burnap, great dude. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
See, and then she says stuff like that. Yeah, maybe they'll just cut out the dude. You know? Fuck the dude. Who cares? Who needs the dude in this movie?
If I'm gonna stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Oh, you poor thing. You had to sit around in a dress for 18 hours on a chair, possibly a cushioned couch, with a bunch of food around you and people like doing your begging, calling. Well, Jesus Christ, once I worked a 24-hour shift on top of a church in Compton upgrading the cell site. I should be paid for everyone who gets to use that cell site. Anyways, moving on.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it
She
once
was scared.
and I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it.
I've been on that ride. It's not scary.
Never revisited Snow White again. So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film. It's no longer 1930.
Okay, it sounds like she's not as much of a fan of Snow White as she claimed to before when she's saying stuff like that. Hadn't watched it in a long time. Okay.
37, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going
God forbid! God forbid, guys! God forbid!
to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about
True love? Who the fuck wants that nowadays? My God. It's all about crypto and money and aliens.
becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. Reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago. It's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power, and what a woman is fit for in the world. And so when we came to reimagining the actual role, Snow White has to learn a lot of lessons about coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
Okay,
and
not
she's
going to be saved by the
proactive
prince.
One, and she's the one who set the terms.
Okay.
Is what makes it so relevant to where we are.
Okay. I get it. Modernize it. Yes, it was made 85 years ago. Modernize it, totally fine. But if it's going to be taking place back then, I mean, why not just kind of keep it similar? I don't know. You could update it a little bit, tweak some things. But you don't have to, like, you know, I mean, but she is not selling it too well when it says certain things where, like, you know, maybe she's just joking and being facetious. But the way I'm looking at it is, and this is why I wanted to say, like, in the beginning of how, you know, she's young and she just got pulled right into this whole franchise machine. It seems like it just doesn't really know exactly how to, like, sell this thing quite yet. And maybe her PR people are like, whoa, and who knows what's been happening now, because this is all over the place now. All over the place. And maybe she just needs to be a little bit coached up on how to handle the PR when it comes to all this, the interviews and everything, and maybe just a little bit, hey, pull back on a little bit of what you're saying, because it's not looking good. I've seen people, even who were supportive of it, even go, wow, this doesn't put it in a good light. This doesn't put her in a good light. But I'm very much like, I get it. They're going to modernize it. Fine. Perfectly. Do that. It's whatever. I probably won't see it. I don't even know if I care. I don't really care to see it, to be honest. I really don't care because I'm like, I'm not a Disney person. But if there's no other movies, just like when Little Mermaid came out, I didn't really care to see that either. But there's no other movies, so I did go see that. But to me, it's just like, when it comes to how, like, all this is going on. And I know, like, another thing too is, like, what I see, obviously I always talk about that certain side of the Twitter, or not Twitter, but YouTube, that just shit on everything. They say everything's woke and everything like that. And all the videos that are going around, it is kind of funny because, you know, I want to shift over to them and I go, hey, you guys over here that are complaining about all this, do you really give that much of a fuck about Snow White? Is that one of your favorite Disney princesses? Are you just like, they better do it just like how it was back then? No, you don't. You don't care. You just want to bitch about it, and she gave you the ammo to bitch about it. That's what's funny too. It's like, do you really give a shit about Snow White? And that's where I was like standing. I'm like, okay, yeah. The way she's handling some of these interviews doesn't look good. But at the same time, I don't give a shit about Snow White. I really don't. Do you? Do you give a shit about Snow White? I don't think you do. You just want to bitch about it. That's the way I was kind of look at it too. I was like, nah, you guys don't really care about that. So why are you guys bitching about it? But she does need to be coached up. And I think this is just because she's so young and she's so new and she just like I said, she got yanked into all this. She doesn't know exactly how to answer some of these questions when it comes to all this. She's trying to be as progressive as possible, sure. But yeah, they need to reel her in just a little. You know? Just a little, I think. So, that's my take on all that. That's the way I'm feeling about it. So, like I said, I'm not trying to throw too much shade. I just think that there's a learning curve that needs to happen when it comes to all this. Gal Gadot, step on, help her. You're a veteran. Gal is a veteran. I'm looking at this the pause shot right here. You could tell that Rachel very much looks up to Gal. So it's like, hey Gal, just give her some pointers. That's still a weird one too. Remember, Gal is playing the witch. The witch is supposed to be like ugly as hell. I'm like curious to see how ugly they make Gal Gadot. That would be a stretch, which is good. I hope they actually do something like that. Because if they don't, I have a feeling this movie's going to floppy flop. All right. Let's see. The anti-woke will complain about litter. Oh, yeah. They obviously do. And that's what I always find funny, because I'm like, you don't give a shit about Snow White. It's not like oh, yeah, I Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, fuck all them. Snow White, that's my jam. It's It's not your jam. You don't give a shit about it. Is she under 25? Yeah, I think she's, yeah. Let's see. How old is she? She's 22. See, that's the thing. And that's why I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. I'm actually, as much as like I'm talking a little shit here because that's what I do, but I'm just saying, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that she's young and she just got wrapped into this whole machine so freaking quickly. But it is weird. It's like Hollywood is really trying to make her the it girl, but I'm just wondering if that's gonna, and then I'm just kind of going like, careful, because you're just like in all these franchises, if they don't do well at the box office, you're just going to be dropped as quickly as you got yanked into the thing. That's the thing that she better think about. And her and her team need to think about. Going back to the whole protecting the brand and being a businesswoman thing like Gal. That's why I'm saying Gal, I don't know, Gal, whatever the hell. Coach her up. Coach up your co-star. Coach her up. It's probably a good idea. Yeah, she's just young. But she's got to be careful. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm actually trying to help. Okay? She's going to call me out again, isn't she? Because, I'm going to post a Film Junkie shot about this. She's going to end up calling me out. Nah, it's all good. She does. It's fine. It's part of the, it's all part of the, it's all part of it. It's what, it's what I do. It's what I do. Okay. Not too many questions here. Let's go. Let's see. I posted on... Let me pull up, because I did post on the YouTubes. Let's see if there's any YouTube questions right here. Oh, yeah, not the evil witch, the evil queen. Sorry. See, that's... I don't know. I don't know. I was just never a Disney... I was never a Disney guy. Just never got into the whole Disney stuff. My brother did. He liked Pete's Dragon and Sword in the Stone, Peter Pan. I watched them, but I just never got into them. I got into comic books. I got into Batman, Superman, Flash. I got into all that. Shut up, Rachel. Where's Rachel? All right. Well, we got, let's see, anything? Nope. Doesn't look like it. Weird. All right, nothing on YouTube, it looks like. All right, let's just go to... Okay, where is it at? I had something. Oh, there we go. All right, let's go to Twitter. Eric, hey Dave, you mentioned you feel Gal is kind of putting pressure on the studio over Wonder Woman 3. What are the odds that her pressure includes Patty Jenkins to direct it? I don't even think Patty would want to direct it. Patty's had a bad couple. She's had. The studio machine has not been kind to her. I would not be surprised. She was probably not going to come back. Because you got to wonder, like, what was in that script? See, that's another thing I wonder is, like, what was in that Wonder Woman 3 script that they were like, nah, we're not going to do that. We don't want to do that. So, Mac, regarding the Wonder Woman 3 situation, do you think either Gal or Gadot or Gunn is straight up lying, or possibly that Gunn was trying to let Gal down? Like, again, I think they're not. I don't think either one of them are straight out lying. There's some fluff, like I keep on saying. It's just my new favorite word now. Fluff. I got to use it right though, because I can't say they were fluffing each other. That would sound weird. Like I said, Gunn was fluffing Ben Affleck. No, I think it's like, yeah, again, they're both business people. They both have brands. That's the thing. You got to look at it like that. You got to look at it like that a little bit. So it's like, yeah, there's some fluffery, I think, on both sides when it comes to this whole situation. But I'm like, the solution is just give her a fucking swan song send-off with an Elseworlds Wonder Woman. I say just do that. That's what I would like to see. Seems like that could be just like a nice little compromise. But again, that's a lot of people don't like that compromise word. Devon Wooter, hey Dave, what's going on with Wonder Woman 3? I'm just confused. Is it happening or not? That's what we don't know. Do you think Batman will take off his mask to show the whole world who he is in James Gunn's DC Universe? Why would he do that? DC Universe, I know that, not the character, but do you think, no, I don't think he would do that. Batman doesn't do that. Unless he, absolutely had to. It could be something where, yeah, if they put it in there, but I doubt he'll do that. Jacob, using the Andrew Garfield Oscars face, Rachel Zegler did nothing wrong. We got another simp. We got a simp. She's just young and dumb and needs to, yeah. Darkness Under the Wind. Dave, do you think Gunn is lying about Gal, or is Gal lying? No, like I said, there's just some fluffery going on back and forth. Mr. Nobody, hey Dave, I think the Wonder Woman 3 situation is an obvious one. I think Gal wants more money. That could be it too. And Gunn wants to, or maybe needs to, yes, studio pressure. Yeah, see, that's another thing too. There's another thing too. Gal's value has gone up, has shot up. She got paid what, like $500,000, $600K, something like that for BVS. She got paid like, I think it was even less than that, because obviously she wasn't the star and just was like a side character. And then her own movie, I know she got paid like in the millions, but her value has gone up. So that could be a problem too. That's another thing to consider when it comes to this whole situation. Plus, Wonder Woman 2 was a huge letdown. Yep, that's another thing as well. Maybe less than 170 million. So this is just an actor studio BS politics. Yes, I think you might be right. There's just some tactics that are happening here from both sides. Jamon Watson, Dave, did we just troll by watching The Blind Side because Michael Oher just said the actual story? Yeah, well, I talked about that, which hopefully that gets figured out, because that's pretty effed up. Pretty effed up, man. Pretty effed up. The dwarfs killed the queen. Is there even dwarfs? That was another thing too. It's like, you know, talking about the whole Oompa Loompa situation, last week? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, is there going to be the 7 dwarves or just the 7 other people? I don't know. We'll see about that. But all right, guys. Woo! This was an intense one tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed talking to you. Felt fun. It was fun, as always. All right, guys. Smash that like, thumbs up before you leave. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. If you want to become a member, become a member. We'll do a members-only stream after every Wednesday stream, so do that. Follow me on all the various stuff right here. A little surprise tomorrow, that might be, check my Twitter. It's not anything too big, but there is something happening this week. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's going to be something tomorrow, so we shall see. But yeah, just look at my Twitter. You'll see something that has to do with something else. Anyways, so yeah, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Do all that. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the Wednesday Film Junkie Live. Love you guys. Talk to you later.